getting cold, you're needing a shoulder. Puff out your chest and be a little bolder. All we do is we buy and hold. There will be shills who wanna steal your thrills. There will be friends who hold till the end. There will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedges are dead. Panic and fear really are near, but it's not ours to own. We have shown that all we do is buy and hold. Oh, there will be shills who wanna steal your thrills, and there will be friends who hold till the end, and there will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedges are dead. So when the night's getting colder and you're needing that shoulder, these apes got your back. We got each other. All we do is we buy and hold.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery.
Go for launch, GT. Go, got it. Go. Fido, go. Bravo, go. GT. Go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Eco, go. FAO, go. Payloads, go. Scan for the customer, go. DPS, we're go. Eco, go. Booster, go. Surgeon, go. PRS, go. Okay. And let's see what we done GNC.
T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start.
STO, hear you loud and clear, 5 mics. Tell me. Have you loud and clear as well, thanks, sir.
Go for auto sequence start.
And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Guidance now converging. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
You have a good forward leg now on S10. Okay, you sound good. Discovery, you negative return.
Copy, negative return.
When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in reverse, and the tears come streaming down your face, when you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste, could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. And high up above or down below, when you're too in love to let it go, but if you never try, you'll never know just what you were. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Tears stream down your face when you lose something you cannot replace. Tears stream down your face, tears stream down your face. I promise you I will learn from my mistakes. Tears stream down your face, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
What an amazing audience. Thank you so much. Thanks for sitting in the back up there, everybody. And thanks for giving us that amazing performance to this tune. Goodbye and good night.
Good morning, you filthy apes. Welcome to AMC with KC, where we buy, we hold, and we screw those edgies. Screw them! That's right. That's what I like to fling poo and eat crowns for breakfast. Rock strong. Good morning, guys. The title for the day today. Oh man, Humpty Dumpty has fallen again. Oh my gosh, we had a nice little party last night, and Sunday night we got together, a bunch of us in the back of the Big Tramp at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time to watch. It felt like the ball drop, the apple dropping in New York or something like that, because it was just like one of those kind of things where it was just like, holy crap. And this is what we were watching. I'll pull it up here on the page for you. I had three different things pulled up on the page here. I had the Nikkei on the page, which is in the red and green, mostly red right now, right? Holy moly! Which dropped significantly. You can see right around 1800 is about when it went down. So maybe that was about around, I guess, like 5 is when it really started taking off. But then you started having 7 o'clock is when like GME started trading on Robinhood, and you started seeing GME and everything started moving around. 2 hours after that, and here you can see the VIX taking off. VIX we got plugged up in here on the page, showing 50.32. Now I don't know if it's going to open at 50.32. That seems awfully high to me. It could. I'm not saying it can't. I don't know. This seems really awfully high. Because, it was just last week we were talking about the VIX and discussing, it needs to break significantly past 35 to know that, it's pretty much over for the market. And, and I told you guys it would take probably at least a week for that to happen. And to see it happening this quickly, kind of solidifies the idea that I've been saying all along is that we're, seeing historical moves that are happening, which will likely lead to probably one of the highest VIX numbers that have ever been printed in its recorded history of printing. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see where that comes in at when market opens. And then you got Bitcoin in here in purple. That was the baby blue was VIX. And then you got Bitcoin in here coming in purple. And Bitcoin taking a little bit of a tumble, and it's at 50,800. Well, actually, what is it at right now? It's at 51,613. So it's broken the 52.8K number. Let's take a look at just a couple of these numbers real quick here. I know we need to go over some numbers and whatnot, but let's look at this real fast. I want to show you guys something. What am I looking at? Bitcoin. That's not what I wanted. All right. If I take Bitcoin to the daily, this is the box that I said that I felt like this is the time frame in which I felt Bitcoin was going to drop out. I think I drew this box towards the end of June. Is about the time when I kind of put this together, and I said, and this move that we ended up having here, I told you guys that I felt like this was somebody needed an emergency grab at some money for something that happened in the marketplace at this period of time in the beginning of July. And so this was a very unnatural move that was unexpected. And then you could see that once it did drive back up, it retested the top of the wedge that I had here. And I really felt that the wedge was still in play and that this really wasn't a descending parallel channel. And as it's turning out, as we're seeing this morning and waking up to this, we're getting a full candle below the 50. This last little yellow line that's down here is 52.8K a coin. And that's a significant level of support and resistance that's going to be held until it drops down even further into some lower Fibonacci retracements that I've got in here. But this is what's been holding up this level of support right here on this wedge, as what's been holding up, and it just absolutely drove through it. This little white box inside the white box I got in there is representative of the time frame that this move right here happened. And so I was kind of guesstimating that maybe perhaps we would see the big move or drop somewhere towards the end of that box, because this delayed what was happening. And as you can see here, that it actually happened 2 days earlier than what I anticipated. So very, very, very close. I did not expect it to drop this quickly. Watching what happened last night,
It was just it was surreal to just sit there and watch what was happening, the chaos that was happening in cryptos. This leads me to one thing. I wrote out a statement last week because I knew this was coming, and I want to read this to you. And I've read it off to Pirate First last week, just to kind of let somebody know that I had pre-written this and could verify or back up what it is that I'm saying, and know that I had already planned on posting this once we broke that 52.8 solidly, and we're almost there. We're almost there. Here's the 52.8 level. You can see that the breakdown beyond 52.8 at this yellow line here occurred last night in the wee hours of this morning, I guess, and then came back up and retested 52.8 like for quite a while, and is now starting to finally break down below it. When it starts to continue to fall further, this 52.8 is gonna be a thing of the past. And this is what I wrote last week. Bitcoin's performance during a market downturn suggests that it behaves more like a risk asset than a safe haven. This raises questions about its reliability as an inflation hedge, as its price may be influenced more by market sentiment than by inflationary pressures. As I have said before, financial institutions, when push comes to shove, will tap into the store of value generated by common crypto investors. If you're not a government or financial institution, you're at the bottom of the pyramid with no hopes of ever seeing massive gains in crypto ever again. That is, until the manipulation from those entities are forced out through a reset of price. Luckily, apes are here and we're demanding that reset. The bleeding of the market is evidence that the market is full of manipulators. It will be a painful process for many retail investors, both in the market and in crypto, around the world. So I'm reaching out to apes to say now, do not gloat, do not cheer, do not be humble or be humble about this process, because you'll be the future in repairing the world around you. Be wise and be patient, but be passionate with what you have worked so hard for. And those are the words that I wrote last week. I feel like there's more to it than I want to add, but I'm just going to cut off right there and be like, nope, that's it. And because I want you guys to, I want you to think about your futures. I want you to think about other things as the world burns around you than what's happening in the world that's happening before your eyes, because you really have to look at what's happening to understand the bigger picture. When you understand the bigger picture of what's happening right now in the marketplace, is that we're eradicating the manipulators, and that you should be proud of. If there's any one thing that you could be proud of, you can be proud of the fact that you're eradicating for both. This is like bigger than just doing it for your kids or for you. This is for the whole world that you're watching this happen. For the whole world. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's crazy, man. I mean, you cannot deny that this movement on Bitcoin was a direct reflection of somebody needing money to prop up markets. You can't deny it. I am so proud that, and I posted this in a tweet this week. I think it was this weekend. I'm so proud that we have a CEO who had the foresight to invest in a gold mine at a time like when a time like this in the future was going to happen. I'm so proud of that. Numbers. Let's do this. I'm going to take you guys over to the other page. I'm not going to be able to see what it is you guys are writing, so hold those personal thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns until you see the big tramp back up on the screen again. Let me just read through what it is you guys have said so far while I'm cleaning my glasses. CPE, good morning to you. It has been a while due to camping in Vermont. Wow. Nice. Vermont's an amazing place. Apex says the Japanese market crashed more than 11%. Yeah, we're going to take a look at all those numbers, man, here in just a little bit. Crazy. Crazy, right? I mean, it's nutty. Good morning, Manji. Good morning, Audio Tits. Z-Wade, good morning. JJ, good morning. Parrot says, blow me a plane breaker. What does that mean? All right. My glasses are clean. No, they're not. A little bit of cloudiness still going on here. Time to wash this cloth. Let's see. It's still cloudy. It's always that right eye. I should wash that one first, just so I could not have it always be the right one. There we go. All right, cool. Here we go. All right, let's do this. Price predictions last week. Nana was the closest to. She was 2 pennies off from getting the price prediction right. But it wasn't enough because Tech had already led the week last week with an extra bonus point by nailing the price prediction on Monday. So Tech was leading the way. Nobody was able to dial in the price prediction close enough to hit it right on the head. Nana and I were both very, very close to the number, but not enough. Wasn't good enough to win the week. And so we're going to give Tech the win for the week. So congratulations goes out to Tech. Nice job. But nobody missed, which is great. Today is going to be a tough day for price predictions, let me tell you. We'll talk about why here in a minute. Short exempt volume from last Friday. So what did we end up seeing in total volume for the day? We ended up having about 16.2 million shares traded. I was suggesting to you guys a 15 to 35 million share traded day, and it was on the lower half of that, which was surprising because we saw quite a bit of pre-market volume that was pretty elevated. It wasn't like super high, but I mean it was definitely high in the pre-market and not necessarily the pokey stick. Which I felt like might lead towards a little bit more volume for the day. But we did have about 2 million more in volume than we had the previous 3 days of trading. So I would expect to see that short exempt volume to be higher than 300,000, but I'm not sure. We'll have to check it out and see here. Let's see. What did we have in short exempt volume? We did not. Wow, surprisingly, it was really, really low. It was 158.9 thousand shares. All right, let me mark it down on the list, 158. I'm surprised. We had a downtrend in price by 3.52%. And let's check out utilization. Utilization went from 82, what did I have written down here? 82.28 to 82.45. So a slight increase in utilization. Max Payne. I've updated all I rebooted my computer last night and updated all my screens this morning. So everything's going to be updated. I don't have to guess or anything. So Max Payne for this week on AMC is $5. And GME is going to be at $22.50. We'll talk about where GMEs are moved down 11.82% in the pre-market this morning. There's going to be a strong push, I would imagine, to trigger SSR, especially if they expect to see some additional volume. And with the market being as stressed as it is, the entire market, I'm sure they're going to be trying to manage things as best as possible. It'll be a lot easier to manage things if SSR is tripped. Because then they can just create more short exempt volume if need be. So SSR is likely going to trip on both AMC and GME this morning. Let's take a look at how much volume we had go through different exchanges on Friday. Normally on a normal day, I expect to see about 64% of our volume going through off-exchange and EDGX combined. Let's see here. We had approximately 53.3% going through off-exchange, EDGX at 10.69 for a grand total 63.99% of our volume going through those exchanges. That's 0.01 off of what I would expect. So pretty normal day with where volume was going. CHX volume was 6,276 shares. Let's check out GME's real quick here. GME had CHX volume in the amount of 9,295, so nothing unusual about those numbers. Taking a look at IBKR. What did IBKR do over the weekend? Let's see here. We had some shares borrowed in the end portion of the day, which I will count towards today. Right here, specifically, is what I'm looking at. At 2045, there was 400,000 shares borrowed at that point in time. So I got to count from that point going forward to find out how much has been borrowed. We saw about 1.1, excuse me, 1.1 million shares being borrowed on Friday. I think it was 1.25 million shares being borrowed on Thursday, if I remember correctly. So let's see. We've got 450. 5, 550, 6, 7, plus 4. We're at 1.1 exactly right now. So the same amount of shares borrowed on Friday has already been borrowed for today. And fees are currently at 2.89%, rebates at 2.43%. Let's take a look at GME's numbers real quick here. As of the end of the day on the 2nd, it looks like there was about 500,000 shares borrowed. The additional 4 right there. 4, 550. Just a little over, about the same amount of shares borrowed over the weekend, about really close to 1.1 million shares. Fees are currently at 0.38 with a rebate of 4.94. Nothing too stressing on those fees or rebate numbers there. Oops, I should leave that back there. All right, moving on. Institutional ownership being reported this morning at 88.231 million shares. Owned by institutions, 88.231. The last number I had was 88.231, so no change. And since this is the first run through of the day and the numbers, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the other page. We'll move some screens around and we'll do a full review of the options and the rest of the data. The rest of the other fun, crazy data that's happening out there. All right, starting with options. You guys are looking at those options over there. Those were GME's numbers that were on the page. Sorry about that. I just set up on the wrong thing. But let's take a look at AMC's options for this week here. The highest amount of call options. Let me just make sure I got the right week here. Yes, this is correct. Wait, is that right? August 9th? Yeah, okay. Highest amount of call options in open interest. Last week was at a $5.50 strike, closest to where our price is. This week is $6, so it's gone up 50 cents. Highest amount of at $6, there's approximately 19.7 thousand contracts. Highest amount of puts volume coming in at 4.5. That's where it was last week. Last week there was 12.5 thousand contracts. This week there's 12.9. So the market is suggesting a closing price somewhere between $4.5 and $6 by the end of the week, which kind of pointing towards maybe like 5.25. perhaps. Is that right? Maybe a little bit higher. That's about right. Obviously, if price is going to start moving up, puts are going to want to close out at 4 or 4.5 as much as possible. Driving price to just under 450 is probably going to be a key goal, especially with tripping SSR. And then watching those puts close at 450 should really drive price upwards quite quickly once those start closing out. Scrolling through both next week's and the weeks after open interest and options, just so you guys can see what's going on there. Super light options volume on the 23rd, the week 3 weeks from now. Not a whole lot of volume there. All right, moving on to GME. Highest amount of open interest current to the closing price of last week. Highest amount of calls. I don't know how far down I should go here. It's in the 19 range, so let's just go to like we'll just say 22. 22 with 4.9 thousand contracts at 22 on the calls. On the puts, highest amount of puts is at a 20 strike with 11.2 thousand contracts. Remember, when those puts start closing, that should drive price upwards. They'll probably want to trip SSR really bad if that's going to be the case. Probably a lot of buying going on if price starts rocketing upwards. Let's take a look at the rest of the open interest for next week and the week after. And there you have it. Ugh. Ortex. Utilization on AMC very slightly driving upwards. We went from 82.28% to 82.45. That should mean that the on-loan amount went up, but it didn't. The on-loan amount went down. We went from 102.97 million shares to 100.39. So let's see. We're looking at 560 shares returned. 560,000. Is that right? No, that's not right. 1.56 million shares returned. My bad. You know what? I'm not trusting my math right now, but let me just verify. $2.58. I suck. I suck this morning. 2.58 million shares returned on. How did I get that wrong? Oh, I see what I did there. I see what I did. 2.58 million shares returned on Friday. Which means Ortex is going to probably guesstimate about a third of that. So we're probably looking at like, I don't know, close to 1,940,000 shares in short interest probably closed out. Let's see. 59.67 to 59.05. So 620,000 shares. That's actually a lot less than what I would have anticipated. Negative 0.62. That's surprising. So not a whole lot of short interest closed out. On a move like that, you would think there would be some. On loan average age per day. What did we end up having? Let's see. I mean, we had mostly return shares. So this should be moving upwards, but it depends on whether or not they closed out any older positions, and apparently they did not, because the on-loan average age per day drove up from 27.09 days to 28.57. Security lending volume day over day slightly decreasing from 7.1 million shares down to 4.55. All right, GME's numbers. Utilization on GME still driving down from 29.65% to 27.09. The on loan amount also driving down day over day. It went from 28.4 million shares on loan to 27.26. That should drive the estimated short share interest of the free float down a little bit, and sure enough, it did from 29 point. Oh no, that's not right. Where's it? Oh, 10.11 down to 10.04. And the on loan average age per day still moving up on this one from 29.87 days to 30.6. Security lending volume dropping from 2.76 to 2.45 million shares. This is going to be a really important number to be watching. 445. Just to throw this out there, a synthetic price failure reset, or not a reset, but a trip of synthetic price failures at $4.37 or 438. It's really close. 438. So that number is really, I mean, there's only 7 pennies difference between an SSR trip and a synthetic price failure, and that's almost bound to happen. It's almost a guarantee. Let's refresh this page here real fast. There we go. Options. There's 75,000 contracts out of the money on the calls versus 2.8 thousand contracts that are in the money. 24.7 thousand contracts out of the money on the puts versus 15.8 thousand contracts that are in the money. Next week has a little bit of volume on option contracts, but we know that the next 3 weeks after that are super, super, super light. And that's leading into a quad witching on 920. GME's SSR trigger price for the day today is $18.96. I would imagine that's going to get tripped today as well. And as far as options go, there's 59.7 thousand contracts that are out of the money on the calls versus 984 that are in the money. 17.2 thousand contracts out of the money that puts versus 13.7 thousand contracts that are in the money. Do note that the weeks, looks like the following weeks up ahead, next 2 weeks of option contracts are pretty light on GME. Actually, I'd almost say all the next 3 weeks, really. Orders by Fidelity customers, AMC and GME were not on this list due to low volume on Friday. I do not expect to see it on there. Yeah, but we were not on there by the end of the day's settlements. Oh, this is a crazy one, guys. MMRI. I should take this out to a daily. Look at that. Falling like a knife. Yeah, so check out, I guess the first thing that I want you to kind of notice as I kind of draw this back a little bit here, and I think I did posted something on this weekend. This line here is kind of like a trend line for MMRI, and which is a risk indicator in the market having to do with credit defaults. And what you're seeing is it was we kind of hit a period of time here. This was my guesstimate on a prediction a long, long time ago on which direction I felt this would be heading. And I missed it by a little bit. I kind of felt like this would be the top where we would see the breakout and heading down. So it was a little bit. I was a little off. I marked down March 19th of 24, and here we are in August. So I missed by a little bit there. But do note that we, for the very first time since December of last year, we are starting to see what is this? What's the word I'm looking for here? Extreme. This is moderate. What's in between? It's dang it, I can't remember what this risk level is. I can't remember. Red's extreme, yellow is moderate, and whatever, I can't remember what's in between. But anyways, we are moving back down into that range. And so we're definitely in a risk-off period of time, and you can see that the 10-year, 2-year, and 30-year bonds, which I have up on the screen here, are seeing some massive drops. I still am holding on to the idea that we're going to see a emergency rate cut coming up on the date that I wrote down on my board here is 7/28, 2:30 in the afternoon with the red tie. So we'll see. But remember, I told you 2 different things needed to happen on the 2-year, 10-year, which is in blue and gold. We need to see the 2-year drop below the 10-year and normalize, or we needed to see the rates falling. So we're definitely getting both of those happening right now. I mean, we are probably one of the closest points right now of getting a normalization of the 2-year, 10-year trend than we have in for quite ever since they became inverted. So and also notice MMRI is down to 237.9 now. We were over 300 not too long ago. And on Friday, the last number that I read off to you for MMRI was 254.68. So you can see how much it changed over the weekend from 254 down to 237.86. Lots of risk off going on right now. Lots and lots and lots. The spread between the 2-year and 10-year rates. So tight right now. So tight. 0.022. Last week we started out the week, it was 0.21. We ended the week at 0.189 is the number that I have written down. And you can see how much tighter it is now. 0.022 to start off the week. That's super tight. Tight like a tiger, my wife would say. All right, moving on. These are the fun ones here, guys. This is the fun stuff. It's if you, yeah. I don't know if you want to call this fun or not. Some people might. Look at this. VIX futures up 45.89%. Futures are suggesting 31.88. I'm already seeing 50 marked down on TradingView. So we'll see if VIX is leading the futures. If it is, it's leading it by quite a bit. But obviously with the VIX being up 45.75% so far this morning, that's really going to cause some major downward movement in the marketplace. And then we can look at, of course, the Nikkei is down 11.04%. Massive losses overnight in Japan. Hang Seng is down 1.57%, and the Nifty 50 down 2.5%. So some big moves there. In our current markets, we're looking at things that are going to be down anywhere from 2.09% to 4.49%. We are going to be looking at a really heavy loss day to day. There's going to be a lot of carnage going on. You're going to see so many things being talked about, and it is going to be a major talking point. I'm not sure what they're going to blame this on, but I have a feeling a lot of it has to do with Middle East things that are happening right now. I think there's perhaps going to be a lot of talk on that. I don't believe that's what this is all about, though. I really don't. I think they're completely non-related. I think there might be, there might be some relationship to it, but I really don't feel like that's what it is. You'll see on the page here that I've got our last synthetic price failure reset was at $5.22. We hit an all-time high since that point in time of $5.44, which makes our new synthetic price failure point at 437.9. I've got 437.8 marked up on the page here. Let me fix it real quick. There we go. You can see that price in the aftermarket hours and pre-market this morning are playing on both sides of that old synthetic price failure reset and where current price is pretty much at right now. So we're playing that range, and I fully anticipate the synthetic price failure to hit today at some point or another. It's I can't see why it wouldn't. Let's see here. Lots of volume this morning. Lots and lots of volume. We're already 102,000 shares traded so far, and it's not even 7 a.m. yet. So let's keep on driving forward with checking our numbers here. That's not what I want. Says there's 974 advancers. That's sun level. All right, moving on. We don't want to look at sectors yet. All right, Mag 7 in the pre-market this morning, all red. I mean, it is just a Sifu. It's going to be Sifu of red. We've got Amazon down 6.36%, Apple down 7.62%, Google's down 5.72%, Meta down 6.38%, Microsoft down 4.18%, Nvidia down 3.11%, Tesla down 8.84%. It is just a sea of red right now, and that's what the day is going to look like. Financial institutions that have changed. All right, it's going to take a lot of reading here. Here we go. Financial institutions that have changed more than 10 or 2.5. I said 10%, 2.5% since last Friday's closing price. It's going to be hard not to hit something here. It's going to be like trying to throw a rock in a glass factory and not break something. Coinbase down 15.38% in the pre-market. NYCB is down 4.74%. Stank of California down 5.12%. FHN down 3.59%. Douche Stank 5. I'm just going to say the number. It's down. If I say the number, it's down. 5.42%. Let's see what Stank of America 4.79%. Zion Stank 4.32%. HSBC 3.85%. US Stank Core 2.9%. CIBC 3.28%. Western Alliance 4.08%. Wells Fargo 3.14%. Citigroup 4.4%. Charles Schwab 2.82%. JP Morgan 3.08%. Goldman Sachs 2.91%. And that's it. As if it wasn't enough. Gold is down 2.35%, taking some hits as well. Silver is down 6.62%, trending down and taking hits. Ethereum Classic is down 3.09% and is trending down. Its current trend is up. It's breaking the downtrend that it was in. I'll take that back. It was trending down, and it is breaking that trend down into a trend up. The US dollar is down 0.55%. Trending up, bouncing off of 102.46, which is the level of support we've had from the past, and resistance. Oil is down 1.36, down. SPY is down 3.21 in the pre-market this morning and trending down. A pokey stick of volume coming in here for the SPY. It broke 520. Why do I have 520 marked? There was a reason. Oh, it gapped down. Look at that gap. 520 was a significant level of support and resistance from the past. that I had marked down, and I'm not sure exactly why, but the pre-market 516, it's already at 516, so we're likely. I'm fully anticipating that there's going to be halts today, guys. I don't see how the market couldn't have halts. Market wide. Tesla is down 8.03% and trending down. Yes, it did gap down in the pre-market this morning. Amazon is down 6.06%, gap down and trending down. Cinemark is up 7. No, it has not yet traded, sorry. Doge is down 7.88%, was trending down, breaking that trend currently into an uptrend. Bitcoin down 5.37% at 51K a coin. And consolidating a little bit after a downtrend. GME is down 12.43%. 560,000 shares traded so far. HYMC is down 4.6% this morning off of 1,380 shares traded so far. So gapping down a little bit and trending. I can't really say, yeah, it's a trend down. Gapping down, trending down. NCMI is down 1.91 and is not yet been traded. That's from Friday's numbers. Hood is down 9.51% and gap down and trending down. AMC down 12.96%, gapping down and trending down. Inflow versus outflow on Friday, we had just a little bit more inflow than outflow, just by about $100,000. We have 405 as our volume for the day today. That's extremely large quantities of volume. I'm not going to give you a volume prediction right now. I'm actually going to wait closer to market open and when we do price predictions. But I actually, I'll give you like a guesstimate. At 405 right now, let's go with 3. I would probably do a prediction of somewhere between 30 and 50 million. I get 30, don't I? 10? No, I get 20. Somewhere between 30 and 50 million shares traded by the end of the day today. So I would be expecting to see an increase in volume. Actually, I might even change that to, I would go almost 40-60. Our pokey stick of volume itself was 287,000 shares. So a good fair chunk of that. On a 4-hour chart, Vortex indicator is showing more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 19.88, which is signaling oversold. On a 1-hour chart, we have more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 21.33, signaling oversold. On a 30-minute chart, more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 27.89, which is signaling oversold. On a 5-minute time interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure with what appears to be a divergence getting ready to occur. RSI is at 41.25, which is below average. On a 1-hour chart for Ichimoto, lagging line is below price line. Conversion and base are on top of each other. We have thinning red cloud forming ahead of us. Everything going forward represents a possible move upwards at this point in time. And lagging line, in order to cross price line and stay above it for the day today, would need to be $5.20. Actually, no, it doesn't need to be that high. $5.15. 515 or greater would actually, no, it does have to, because the price would have to be above the cloud. We're going 520. 520 or higher by the end of the day today would signal for a big buy signal. On a 4-hour, lagging line is below price line. Conversion is below base. We have red cloud ahead. We do have this one little sliver of green cloud here where I suggested to you guys that we should see a sharp downtrend followed by a sharp uptrend afterwards as we have a red cloud ahead. Some more green cloud forming after that. So what I'm seeing here from the 4-hour chart is there's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of volatile swings in both directions coming up in price movement. So very, very strong volatility ahead is what this is signaling for. So in order to turn this into a buy signal for the day today, we would need to see at a minimum price rising above 520. Same value as the 1 hour. I think that's all I got for you guys. I feel like there was something else I was supposed to mention, but didn't do it yet. Let me head over to the back of the big tramp. Let's see here. And let's see what else you guys got going on here. What are you guys writing? Brian says, remember your 5 wives. Turtle wants the margin calls. Donald says, if this doesn't cause margin calls, what the hell would? So, again, you got to remember that it all has to do, like, you don't know what the finances are on different hedge funds. So there's no way for you to be able to know what's going to stress them enough in order to cause a margin call. Now, I'll say that I was waiting, the last time Bitcoin drove down in price, I was waiting to see a 12. There was a specific value that I needed to see. I felt that most of the value that they had stored in crypto was going to be gone at a 12.3 price. So I was waiting for Bitcoin to hit 12.3, and then I would have suggested that margin calls would have happened around that time. Now, there's been some, since prices run back up, because it never got quite down there. It got down to about 15.4K a coin because, make sure I got that on the right page there. Because we never got to that 12.3 level, which is where most of their value, they still had some remaining residual value in there. We've been seeing a strong pump up on Bitcoin ever since, and to reaching even new all-time highs. So what's going to have to happen here, and what you got to realize is it's not really based 100% on the market, because if they can continue to pump money back into the market from someplace else, such as crypto, then they still have funds to be able to continue what it is that they're doing on a daily, complete operations. And so I would suggest to you that, and this is just a ballpark theory, but this time is going to be a higher value than 12.3 last time. And the part of the reason for that is that a lot more investors from that drop down to 15.4K a coin all the way up to the all-time high of 73.8K a coin. There's been a lot of new retail investor money going into crypto. And so I think there's a lot more crypto holders, which means that a lot more of the coins are owned by retail investors. And so I would suggest this time that we need to see a value of somewhere between 19.4 and 28.7. It could even be slightly higher at maybe like 30K might be enough. So I would just say somewhere between 20 and, like, just easy round ballpark figures, 20 to 30K a coin is what we're going to need to see this drop down to before you start seeing those margin calls. Because at that point, then they won't have any funds to be able to continue to withdraw from, to be able to prop up the market enough to be able to hold collateral in positions that give them the ability to avoid those margin calls. So really, that's what you're looking for. Is you're looking for like a massive drop in any residual funds that they hold inside of crypto and residual investments. You need to see those dissipate. And Turtle says volatility. I like it. Volatility, it definitely helps with the more volume that you see, the more volatility that you see creates more volume. More volume usually tends to mean that the market's becoming more uncontrollable, and control is what the name of the game is. And if you can't control the market, then the market controls you. So those margin calls, certainly, the more volatility we get, the more likelihood goes up on the margin calls. Now, of course, the really big players are going to be the ones that are lasting the longest, but we don't need to see the big players getting completely wiped out. What we really want to see is like just, if you consider it as like fish in a barrel, you want to just see a couple little small fish here and there start dying off, and once they do, it's going to make the water, what do they call it, brackish or something like that, and make the water bad essentially, and start killing the rest of the fish. So that's really what you want to see. Is you want to start seeing like little hedge funds here and there that it's just basically wiped out. Living in 3D just got a tornado watch at the same time we're dealing with Debbie. What a Monday. Moonlit Rift says VIX is cooked. I'm seeing 53.99 on TradingView. I mean, if that value is right. So this is this is crazy. This is craziness. It's just absolute craziness. So I told you guys 19. And that it would take like 5 days to get above 35 is what I told you last week. Well, this would have been day one. Breaking past 19, day one would have been Friday. I thought that maybe breaking 35 would take about 5 trading days because historically speaking, that's about how long it takes. It doesn't usually break 35 this quickly. If we really do open up the VIX at 53, I mean, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I do believe that we're about ready to witness the VIX hit all-time highs that have never been hit before, which in this case, the last time that it hit an all-time high, I think was, it was 2008, 89.53. And if you go back to that time frame and you look at it, and I've got it on a weekly time interval right now, you can see here that breaking above 19, and I know that it broke above 19 here, but see that it retested 19. The break above 19 took like 4 weeks worth of time before it actually broke above 35. So that was a long time. It's like a month before it actually even started breaking above 35. If you go back to some other periods of time, perhaps maybe say like 2001 dot-com bubble, the retest of 19 is, I mean, like the real strong break above 19 probably is about here. So you're looking at least 2 weeks before breaking above 35. And then what else do we look at? I looked at 2008, 2001, I guess COVID was quick, right? Like this is a week. It broke above 19 and it took like a week. It was about 5 days is what it took before it broke above 35. And COVID was happening quick. right? Like it was like a known event that was creating a lot of fear and instability inside the marketplace. If we open up the VIX, this candle rate, this is going to be a new trading week, so the next candle here could already be above 35, which I didn't even see that coming. I told you guys at least 5 trading days from last Friday is what I told you is when I would expect to see a possible break past 35. But this quick, I wouldn't have guessed. Who could have? Who could have guessed that? I mean, maybe somebody could have, but I didn't. I certainly did not. I did not see that coming. Oaksway Recordings, good morning. Audio Tits, Manjit, good morning. UVXY is up 63% pre-market. Donald, I'm okay with that one. That's fine. I know what it is. VIX 5263.
Looks like the stock market fell out of a coconut tree. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Good. How was Wally World?
It was hot. That's what it was. It was really, really hot. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Like the very end of the day, we were in a lazy river that would have been the lazy river I probably would have chosen to sit in most of the entire day. But it was super, super hot. I didn't realize that it's two. I mean, I did know that it was two different. Like there's 2 parks, and in order to get from one to the other, you have to take a bus to get to the other one. And we were waiting in this line. They had a covered canopy for most of the line, and then the other portion of the line had no covering, and so we were just standing in this line. I thought I was gonna pass out. I really did. I really felt like, this is it. I'm going down. And so I just the rest of the time, other than that one point in time, everything else was great. I had a great time. It was awesome.
Nice. We had that the week prior. We went to a local water park. Took our 7-year-old for the first time. It wave pool and water slides and a lazy river, and it was the same. It was like 95 and humid. We were there for about 4 hours and just absolutely cooked. Didn't matter how much sunscreen you put on, you were just done. Went home, drank a gallon of water, and took like a 3-hour nap.
Right? I should have done that. I came home and I drank Gatorade. I didn't do the water, but I did Gatorade, and I don't remember what I did for sleeping. I don't remember. Yeah. I think I might have passed out. I can't recall. I know I was, for the rest of the weekend, Melissa wanted to go back out and do some more stuff later on in the weekend, and I was like, I'm toast. I was like, I'm done. I don't think I can. We did end up going out, and the kids. We took the kids. She wanted to take them to Austin Parks and Pizza, which is kind of like an amusement center kind of place. And so we went out there, and then her and I just sat at a table and drank beer, and ate cheesy fries. So good times. Yeah.
When do your kids go back to school down there?
It's like, I want to say it's like it's like 8 days. Next week.
In Michigan, it's either just before or just after Labor Day.
Okay. If I knew when Labor Day was, I'd. It's sad I don't know, right?
September 2nd or 3rd this year.
Okay.
Oh, September 2nd.
just realized that am I looking at AMC? Hold on a second here. I just realized that my red line for AMC disappeared on me. I don't know how. Let me put it back up. How did that disappear? Where did it go? So crazy. $437.9. Are your kids excited to go back to school?
Yeah, my son is. He'll be going into second grade. He's ready. Since he's an only child, he's been really bored all summer and hanging out with his grandma every day.
Nice.
So he's ready for some child interaction. Recess.
Gotcha.
You can only hang out with your cousins so many times in the summer and still feel excited.
Yeah. JSA says the market's on fire. Do something, Casey. Yeah, it's okay. This is, I mean, if you've been around for 3 years, this is what we've been saying that was going to happen eventually. This had to happen in order for us to get to where we wanted to get to. So it's not like it's unexpected. Real quick, I just want to mention, I noticed like you guys are talking about UFO something baby or something like that, and then Phoenix 1969. I just want to throw one comment out here. How many shares somebody holds in this community makes no difference to me one way or the other. You could hold 1 or you could hold 18 million. I don't give a rat's ass one way or the other. You're just as important as the guy holding 1. So how many shares you hold holds no weight. Zero quantity and weight as to who you are in the community, because Ape stands for all people equal. It doesn't stand for whoever the biggest shareholder is has the biggest dick. That's not what it stands for. So take your I have more shares than anybody else attitude and go someplace else, because you're not going to find any sympathy from anybody here. 1 shareholder or 18 million, it does not matter. It drives me nuts when people think that because they have more shares that they should have some kind of like leverage on what it is that their words have to say. And it's like, you don't seem to understand what's going on here, do you? You don't know what you're a part of. You think you're a part of something where you matter more? Get the hell out of here. You don't. You don't matter more. Hold on 1 second. Bruno's kicking on the door real quick here. I'm going to go let him in. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Ray, good to see you. Been around 3 years. Be so glad when this is over. It would certainly be nice to have this done before Christmas. Thanks, Casey, for streaming daily. You've kept us going. We've kept each other going, right? I mean, that's the whole point in this is that it helps to keep us all together. So we've all done it together. It's not a me thing. It's an us thing. Whatever he said, but in Spanish. Thanks, Aldosh. Appreciate that. Maze and Blue 2 says, Vic's over 50 cents. Hey, Maze and Blue 2, guess what? I was so close to sending you a picture this weekend. Melissa and I went out. We got in the car. We had everything all packaged up to go. I didn't want to send you a COVID package a while back. So the package is all set and ready to go. And I think Melissa said that she was probably going to go over to the post office later this week on maybe like a Wednesday or something and mail it out. So when I have the actual confirmation of it's on its way, then I will send you a picture of it. But not until then. I was so close. When we got in the car and we started going out Saturday, we realized that it was that the post office had already closed, and we were on our errands tour. Holy crap, Craig! My best friend in the whole wide world, used to say that. Actually, the way he used to say it was, how did he say it? If you want some sympathy, you can go look it up between shit and syphilis. Yeah, that's that. And my mom and dad. That was the friend that my mom and dad caught cussing when we were kids. Boy, was I in trouble. Yukon says VIX above 40 is bad news. Bad news bears for the market. Anything above 35 is bad news. It's kind of a key value. And right now, I'm seeing the VIX holding at around 53.99. I'm not sure if TradingView. I've never really looked at TradingView for VIX very much. I've always pretty much just looked at it on Webull here. But if or other places, but I've never used it on TradingView, so I'm not sure how accurate TradingView is on reporting of the VIX. But if it really does open up at 53.99, holy moly, that's insane. Let's see here. $55.15 Moonlit Rift says. It's insane. This is the screen that we were watching last night. A few of us got together in the back of the Big Tramp, and we were watching this screen here. And what I've got up on the page is in the candles is the Nikkei. And we were watching that thing just starting to tank. And, shortly thereafter, right around the same time that it really started taking big moves. In purple, we've got Bitcoin, and in baby blue, we have the VIX. And you could see both of those starting to take some late moves in unison with the Nikkei falling off the way that it did. And yes, it triggered a... Nikkei triggered a synthetic price failure on the way down. Kind of crazy. Bigums, good morning. Congratulations. If you haven't heard it directly from me yet, I don't think I have. I know I sent you a message, but congratulations. We've had a couple different people in the community here who have also recently had babies as well. Good morning, hon. 7:30, guys. Break time. Let me put the message up on the screen here. I will be back at 8:15 a.m. We'll do some price predictions, volume predictions, and get this day started. So I will see you guys on the other side of that.
Living life on the open road, ain't got no home, just a van for my long beard hanging down. Taking AMC, it's all about the line. No ties, no suit and tie, just dark circles round these tired eyes. Sipping coffee, crunching numbers, technically analyzing. Windows roll down, the wind in my head, I embrace the grit and grind. There's my castle, roots my kingdom, no place else I wanna be. AMC ticker keeps on rolling, stock charts and patterns unfolding. Fear and greed, wolves and bears, it's a wild ride of all its strife. All ticker in my sights, AMC's my fight. Bedded fair, living, crunching numbers all night, yeah. Fan of the beat, tinker analyst, chasing dreams in the moonlight. No fancy office, just the open road. This is my life, alright.
Alrighty, guys. I'm trying to figure out where exactly I think price is going to be moving to for the end of the day today. Obviously, we're going to have a pretty red day ahead of us. We've got the VIX showing on Webull already showing at 57.15. Yeah, it's not showing. It's not showing the value yet, which is according to. Let me see. Let me go over to TradingView and see what TradingView says because I feel like it's a little more accurate. VIX showing up on TradingView at 56.91 and it's showing 56.92. So it's pretty close, yeah. So we're gonna see this like massive candle on the VIX. It's actually not gonna be a massive candle. It's gonna be a gap up to 56, which certainly breaks past the 35 value. Last Friday, I was telling you guys that once we broke past 19, that I was expecting maybe about 5 trading days before we would see VIX potentially driving past 35. Well, it's here. so it's going to create all kinds of super massive amounts of volatility in the marketplace, and it makes it really, really difficult to figure out what price is going to do. But you can see that AMC and GM are hitting right around the same amounts down. GME's at 12.2, AMC's at 11.55. And now GME's at 11.91. They're real close. I would expect to see SSR get tripped, obviously, and market open. Whether or not price continues to move, whether or not price moves up afterwards is going to be primarily based off of whether or not institutions are needing to find shares of AMC to perhaps maybe reduce their margin requirements. I don't know. It's impossible for me to know what the books look like, right? That's it's not going to be something I'm going to be able to guesstimate. What a day to only have like a 50-cent spread on either side of price prediction. At the current price level of 437, they're going to be able to close puts at 450. If puts start closing out, if the market continues to head down and AMC heads with it, which it may, we might see continued puts holding off to close, waiting to see whether or not a $4 strike can get hit or $4 price can get hit, so the strikes go in the money. At that point, I think we would probably start seeing puts start closing and then price would start rising afterwards. But let me see something real quick here. A $4 drop from our last high of $5.44, like if we were to hit $4, would be a 26.5% drop in price from that 544. Let's say 390 just to see. 390 would be 28.3% drop. Yeah, I don't think anything much lower than 4 is possible. I mean, it is. It's always possible, but doesn't seem probable. I'm going to go... I'm going to go with a 445 close, which means that I'm going to go 395 to 505. Wait, sorry, that's not right. 495. 395 to 495. I'm trying to give myself extra padded room there. 395 to 495 on a close for the day today. I mentioned earlier this morning synthetic price failure suggesting that a buy point on both the 1 hour and 4 hour charts is around 520, which would be outside of my my range and price prediction, but I don't think that the market's going to drive price up just yet. I think there's going to be some time here still. So let me go and see what everybody else is doing here. Apex is going 425 to 525. SSR for the day today is it's on the page, right? Oh, it's not on the page because it's a few minutes. It's 445. Really, really close to synthetic price failure, which is 437.9. What am I doing again? Oh, yeah. Price predictions. Nana is going 424, so she's going 374 to 474. And Tech, who won last week, is going for a 452 close, so he's going to be at 402 to 502. So, this is what we look like. Nana's got the bottom end of the totem pole. Apex has got the top end. There is currently a 51 cent spread between us. Nana has 374 to 474. I have 395 to 495. Tech has 402 to 502, and Apex has 425 to 525. Those are your numbers for the day today. I think everybody has a unique price prediction. Yep. Everybody's got a unique price prediction, so any one of us could potentially get an extra bonus point if price closes within 10 cents of our predicted price for the day today. But Donkey Kong said, Adam Aaron said cash is king at least 5 times in the last earnings call. And I think even GME Ryan Cohen might have mentioned cash is king as well. Somebody did. Somebody on the GME side mentioned it. Alrighty, guys, we're getting really, really close to market open. Some of you may be wondering about the little candle wick that we had up here, and what you'll remember is I mentioned this on a couple different times. It's usually settlements from the previous trading day that are occurring, and so those settlements go through at whatever the previous trading day price range was. You can see that previous close was 512. With a low of 489 and a high of 508. So the 510 doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? Really? Did it only hit? No, it had to hit. It did it in the aftermarket hours. 521. That's where it could have happened in the aftermarket hours too. So that's what that was.